Hey guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robin French Smith. I'm one of the owners of Bath Fizz and Foam. It's Monday, which means it's time to make something together. What? Yeah. So today we are gonna be painting bath bombs because that's what we're doing. So first off, I want to address the elephant in the room that I'm wearing a Christmas shirt and it's after Christmas. But here's the deal: I got this shirt because it's freaking hilarious. It says there's some hoes in this house, okay? And I really wanted to wear it for Christmas, and it came in after Christmas, and I was like, I'm wearing it. Also, I want to warn you. Just gonna give you a heads up. I haven't made dad jokes or bad jokes all year. So get ready for the most jokes you've heard all year with all the all year jokes, because I've been rocking them, okay? And you're gonna be excited because I've done like the whole to my husband, I was like, you haven't kissed me all year. And I've done this is the best breakfast you've made me all year, or you haven't made me coffee all year, just get ready and I apologize, but that's what we're doing. We're gonna get all the terrible jokes in for the year, all year. Best jokes you've heard all year also. Just warning you. Okay, so today I have some bath bombs that I made using this mold from Break the Mold, YYC. This is a Canadian company, and this is kind of a different mold than some people might be used to, and it's what they're referring to it as a hybrid mold. And the reason for that is, hold on, I'll show you. So, this is a vacuum form mold, right? So a vacuum form mold is made by taking a shape, they heat it up the plastic, they put it over, and then they use vacuum suction and it creates the mold. Okay, so that's a vacuum form mold, and you have to have an object that's being formed. And then so vacuum form makers have, some of them buy 3D printers, so then they can print their own mold that's going to be vacuum formed. So that's cool. And then you have 3D printed molds, which are 2 to 3 pieces, and you push them through, and those are the ones I typically use. So this is kind of a blend of the two. So it's just one piece like this, and you would pack it the way you would pack a vacuum form mold. And then instead of, pushing it through, you just kind of, sorry, that was, oh my God, that's so loud. I'm so sorry. And then you have to, kind of whack it a little bit, hit it with the spoon, and then you can pick up the bath bomb, and you have your you pick up the mold, you have your bath bomb. Words. Okay, so these are pretty cool option, especially if you are used to vacuum form molds but you want to try to start using 3D printed molds, because they're more durable. You can pack them a lot heavier than you can pack these. So I've had some other molds from Break the Mold, but these so far I've been extremely happy with them. Here's some other ones I made with another mold that they sent me. So I've been extremely happy with them. And so yeah, I'm gonna leave a link to that for sure. So this is like a little heart with a band-aid, and then inside I have some rainbow embeds that are going across the inside of them. And I've already prepped these up here, and I left one unprepped so I could show you how I prep them. And normally I would take the bath bomb, and you can see it has crumblies on the sides. Crumblies. Okay. So I would take my finger and just really lightly run my finger around the outside edge and make sure that I get rid of all those crumblies so that it's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to spray it with rubbing alcohol really lightly. Okay. And that's going to help the color soak in a little bit quicker. And I like to do that in a humid climate because I feel like it kind of helps seal them in a little bit. And so I did that for everybody else already. So then we're going to move on to painting. So one of the things, I know you guys are going to be super disappointed when you hear that. Hey, Nectarina, hey, what's up? Okay, so one of the things you're going to be disappointed about, I'm sorry, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to disappoint you, is that a lot of painting bath bombs is just oh, it looks right. So you're gonna have to just kind of learn how to spot and identify a mix, paint mix or whatever, that's right. So I'm gonna start with the Band-Aid, and I'm using Honey Blush from Nurture Soap. This is like, so this last time when I like stocked up with Nurture Soap, I bought a 4-ounce jar of Honey Blush this time, like this size, because I use it all the time. This is one of those like colors that you're just like, really, that one? And it's like, yes, I use it all the time for so much stuff. I love this color, Mica. So I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm going to add some rubbing alcohol to it, and I keep mine in these little silicone cups because I use rubbing alcohol and it evaporates when I'm done, and then I can just reuse it, so I'm not like wasting the mica all the time, because that was one of the things I used to hate. So I have some of that in there, and you can see, you can't see because it's on the wrong side. So, okay, hold on. I'm like, okay, hold on. So it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit thick, right? Because if I run my brush in there, I'm scooping up mix. So that's not what I want to do. So I'm going to just keep mixing it in. There was some stuff at the bottom, you know, so I'm just going to keep mixing it in. But that now is looking about right. Like if I dip my brush in, it's not collecting like a whole bunch of stuff on the brush like that. Like if I run it on the bottom, that's too thick. So I'm just going to keep doing that, and I could either add more rubbing alcohol, I could add some more mica, and I would probably have to go back and forth. So the thing is, because your rubbing alcohol is going to evaporate as you're using it, you have to just kind of keep putting it in and like adjusting it. So that's just kind of one of those things. But as you do it and as you practice, you will learn to see the right texture. So when I put the paintbrush on there, it kind of soaks right in. It's not too thin, right? The coverage is about right. It's about what I'm looking for. But it's also not sitting at the top in kind of creasy lumps or lines, which will eventually happen. So that's good. You guys can see what I'm talking about when that happens. The other thing though is, like, say you do paint it, and I'll do like a couple different examples so you guys can see like what happens if it's too thin, what happens if it's too thick. But if it's too thin, you can always, you know, just do like another layer on it. Like that's fine. But yeah, so it's just something, oh man, I hate having to tell people that, like, no, there's really no hard, fast rule. There's no formula that I know of. There's no ratio that I know of to make it perfect. You just have to keep working with it. Lena asked if you want a lighter version of the same color, you just use more rubbing alcohol. You could do that. It might make it like a little bit thin. So there's like a watercolor technique that I'm working on, or I was working on it last year, but I probably will show that to you guys in the spring. And it kind of uses that whole aspect of the rubbing alcohol and mica, where if it's too thin, you know, it kind of looks a little bit spotty. It kind of uses that to its advantage. So, but yeah, it might be a little bit thin, but yeah, you can always, you can blend your colors, you can mix your colors, you know, there's a lot of things you can do. Okay, so I should have picked a bigger brush because I feel like this is going to take just forever in an age, but let me glance over here and see if I have a bigger brush. Do I have a bigger brush? I don't know. I have a lot of brushes. That's too big. That one works. Okay, so Christine says that she loves this red. Is it a lake or is it a dye? This is a red lake blend from the color study, the red color study. I believe that it is 2-to-1 red 40 to red 27. There was something I made, gosh, it's the problem with doing lives. I'm like, I don't know, I made something live. So I have like a little bit less control with this brush, obviously, because it's bigger. You can see that like some of my edges aren't quite as clean. It's also a round brush, so, you know, could be part of it. But it's okay. I'm gonna cover it up with more mica when I paint the heart. So yeah, so I believe that this was a 2-to-1 red 27, red 40 to red 27. And the thing is, like, when you want a really deep red like this, you can add more red 40 than you can add of red 27. So if you're starting to get like nervous about it, you're like, I don't know, that just feels like it's really a lot of red and I'm like kind of worried about it, you can keep adding the red 40 without really a lot of concern, honestly, that it's going to stain, as long as you're using polysorbate 80. I posted in the group, I think yesterday, I don't know when, I posted in the group that I'm working on my I've spent all year working on a YouTube that's gonna cover lakes, dyes, and micas, and it's just gonna cover kind of like a general, there's a lot of questions about lakes, dyes, and micas. So probably what I'll do is I'll do one post that covers like a general, like, this is lake, this is dye, this is mica, here's what it does, here's how it performs. Now you may choose. And then I will probably go back and do one that is specifically dyes, specifically lakes, and specifically micas, just to like kind of do a little bit more in-depth on it. Because I know when I first started making bath bombs, I was fortunate that I had a business partner who made bath bombs before I started making them. And so for my previous business, my business partner at the time, that was, she focused on bath bombs. So I learned a lot of like what not to do from her. So I kind of came into the game with a little bit more knowledge, but I did watch, I think Southern Sky Beauty had a YouTube video about lakes and dyes and micas, and her like conclusion was that, you know, dyes were the best, which is fine. Some people do want like dyes the best. I prefer lakes, so I'm gonna try to give you guys an unbiased opinion about it though. So like to just kind of show you like this is what it's doing, so you know you can make your own choice on that. All right, I'm almost done with the band-aids. I'm trying not to drip it. I see I dripped a little spot on this guy. My bad. We can probably cover it up, maybe, mostly. I've been dripping on my bath bombs all year. I've messed up this bath. This is the first bath bomb I messed up all year. You're welcome. You're free to turn it off right now and to come back later when you're done hearing my dad jokes. Dad jokes are just, I just call them bad jokes. I don't know. I don't feel like dads should have the monopoly on terrible jokes. My opinion. Okay, so after I do this little band-aid, I'm gonna go in with some red, and like I don't have to, right, because the heart is already red, but because this heart, even though it's lakes, it's a blend of red 40 and red 27, like I said. And red 27, she fades, girl. She fades, okay? She doesn't fade as bad as a dye would. Oh my God, I need new brushes. She wouldn't fade as bad as a dye would, but she does still fade. And so I like to, and plus I've already painted the top, right? I've already started painting the top, so I might as well keep painting, just kind of for that, like, you know, look. Nectaria says all year. Yes, I've been painting these bath bombs like I've been working on this batch of bath bombs like all year. Jordan says the honey blush is like perfect. I freaking love this. Like, to me, it's also a really good color. One of the things I really like about honey blush is it's a really good color to start off with when you're working on skin tones. So it's like easy to go kind of up or down. It's kind of like a medium skin tone. So it's nice to go up or down on it with the different kind of skin tones that you have available that exist on the planet. Okay, so I'm using, this red is Candy Apple Red, and I haven't used it in a bath bomb yet, so I don't know. There are some reds that stain if too much is used, and so if I ever have any kind of question about whether a color is going to stain or not, I will add just a tiny bit of polysorbate 80 to it, just to humor myself, you know. I just like a little drop, and it makes me where I can sleep at night. Okay, it just gives me that like little extra bit of being able to relax and be like, okay, that way it probably won't stain. Like, I don't know if it's gonna stain or not, but it probably won't stain now. And you can see, like I said, some of the embeds bled through. It's fine. I don't care that much. Okay, so I'm just gonna come in and paint, and I know it basically looks like you really can't tell a huge difference between where I painted it and where I didn't. Actually, on the camera you can. Like, in real life it's just harder to see. But oh, I said I was gonna do like different textures. Okay, I'll let it dry out a little bit and I'll see. I'll do one of them where it dries out a little bit and see. But yeah, I just kind of do, I don't know, I like to do that as like a little bit of an insurance. If you didn't want to paint, you could also add some mica to your mix, but I just don't like to do that. I don't know. I don't like to use micas and bath bombs very much. I like to paint with them, but not on the surface. I mean, not in the mix. Let's see. What was I was going to tell you guys about sleeping. You probably don't want to hear this. You're not here for this, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So I'm sorry. This is just, I've been thinking about it all year. Okay. I have, I'm sure, discussed more than once the fact that I have raging insomnia. Like, it's a real problem. I bought myself, Santa brought me a sleep mask this year. How in the world? I have tried like literally everything I can possibly try to get better sleep at night. How has nothing ever suggested to me that I try a sleep mask? I got a sleep mask and I slept 6 whole hours, oh my God, at a time last night. It has been, oh my God, it has been beautiful. Like this, I'm having a wonderful year. All year. I've slept 6 hours every night all year. It's been amazing. Just so you know. So there's my little PSA for you guys. If you have insomnia, try a sleep mask. I don't know why. I just don't know why it didn't work. There's just some things in life I don't understand. Why a sleep mask wasn't referred to me, why CVS receipts are so long, and why, I don't know, why it's finally cold here in Texas, okay? Okay, hold on, I see a question. Okay, Breaking the Mold. Somebody was asking about the mold. Yes, it's from Breaking the Mold. I will include a link to it, or I'll include a link to their website. It's a little bit different. I was going to show you guys how to use the mold, but I'm actually getting I'm going this like almost as soon as this live is over to get my COVID booster shot. And I just didn't want to leave like a giant mess for myself, because like sometimes Sometimes this crazy lady comes into my workshop, she makes a huge mess, and then she leaves, and then I have to come back after her and like clean up her disaster. So I just didn't want to do that to myself. So I already did one. I made like a video for it where the embed had bled through like that, and I was like, I used that one to make the video for because it had the kind of bleed through and it made me sad. But here's the thing, I actually kind of liked the way it looked. It made the little heart look like it was a little bit bruised. Oh, poor little heart. So I really liked it. Actually, I ended up liking it. And I did the video because people had asked, like, will the rainbow embed show up even though the bath bomb is red? So I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. So I'll post that on, it's on our TikTok right now. TikTok. That's like it's like Reddit. Like, don't go on TikTok or Reddit if you have literally anything to do for several hours, because you're gonna just be stuck there. You're just gonna be stuck there doing God knows what. It's like, I can't read a whole book, but I can sit down and read like Reddit theories on like Twin Peaks and how Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty cross over, right? Like, I can read like some really crazy things. So the thing about adding some polysorbate, see, nice and hard recipe. So the thing about adding some polysorbate 80 to my paint is that it will take a little bit longer to dry, which I don't really like that very much, but since it's cold right now, the humidity has dropped, so I don't know if that'll help it or not. It's real dry here though, that's what I'm trying to say. So it kind of helps with the paint not drying out right away. I'm being really messy too, just letting you guys know. So when, Kiana says that it activates after sitting for a while. So these bath bombs were made, I want to say like 4 days ago. They were made, like I said, I've been working on these all year. So they were probably made the 1st. What is today? I don't even know what the date is today. I think it's the 5th. So these are made about 4 or 5 days ago. So they do need to dry. Like, if you try to paint too quickly, I have tried to paint too quickly. Now, I did do a live a little while ago where I painted like literally right after I made them. But I used just polysorbate 80 and I didn't use any rubbing alcohol in it, and that works. But I don't feel like I'm able to get into like the little details as much, because you have to be more gentle, right? Like, your brush is going across the top and stuff like that, so you have to be a little bit more gentle. So yeah, if it's activating, you need to wait a little bit longer before you're painting them. And I wonder, like, you know, make sure that you're using like 90% or above rubbing alcohol. So don't use 70, don't use, you know, any of that stuff. So I don't know if that's a secret, but it's secret. I'm telling you all, I'm spent all year telling my secrets. So yeah. Okay, so I have 2 more after this one, and then I'm going to show you what I do for black. If you took the Color Masterclass Bath Bomb, what is that? What is that thing that I do where I do the class? If you took that, we talked about like lakes and dyes and black and like what I prefer. And I really prefer black lakes for painting, because even black mica, even when you use polysorbate 80, can still stain, but I will show you what I do for that. And I've been waiting for one of these to be clumpy, but it's not, of course. Hold on, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna put some in here and make it too thick first, and then I'll thin it out a little bit and I'll show you. So this is the same as this one. It's just, so if I just add like a little bit of rubbing alcohol to it and I don't add enough, I'm gonna paint with it too thick so you guys can see. So if I didn't add enough and it was like thick, you know, actually that's a really good texture, but and I went to paint with it and I had things like, hold on, I'm just gonna, dang it, be too thick, hold on. I'm like, I'm gonna mess up right now, and I'm like, oh, I can't even mess up, I just do it so good. Like, no, don't worry, I do mess up a lot. It's fine, I mess up all the time actually. Yeah. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit more so I can show you guys. Okay, so say I was painting and I was getting this. Oh no. Oh. Grody, what is that? Okay, and like I can like run my brush over it and like literally pick up mica that's like been crunchified on top. Okay. So if that happens, your paint is too thick, and you can do what I'm doing where I'm like I'm literally like scraping it off, because when I go to, if I were like to wrap that, it would just smear all over the place and make a mess. So I can kind of like brush it off like that and brush it in, and then I would need to add more rubbing alcohol to it. But if it was too thin, see how like when it's thin, it's like looks watery and you barely have like the mic, I don't know if you can tell, whatever, barely have the mica look. So but when I went to paint, when I go to paint with it, see how there's like not full coverage? Like you can see like down there, like it looks like maybe full coverage, but that's like just because it's wet. So there's only coverage right there, and then that's just because it's wet. And like I could keep trying to paint with it. There's really like, there's no shimmer, right? Because there's no mica in it. So that's just, that means it's too thin. That's where you get like spotty, thin looking bath bombs. Okay. So I would just need to add more rubbing alcohol to it, and I would just go back and forth until I got the blend right to look like I wanted it to look. So there you go. I said I would do that, and I did it. You're welcome. Let's go back to this brush so I can get it done quicker. Okay, so I hope that that helped a little bit, maybe. I also know that you guys asked when you saw this heart, because he has a rainbow embed inside of him, you guys asked about having an embed video. There is an embed YouTube. It's not like very comprehensive. I think that I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to make promises to you guys and then like have to be like, oh my bad. But we talked about doing like embed specific things. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We've talked about doing embed specific things. So possibly this year we will be doing that. All right, and I have one more to do, but I'm lazy. We'll do them later. Bye. Okay, so now we're gonna move to black, and so I'm gonna use Black Pearl. Nurture Soap has another one called Nocturnal. Yeah, that's what it's called. That is like, oh, it's like the blackest, deepest black. And Black Pearl has like a little bit of shimmer to it, so it, I don't know, it might have like a little bit of like a gray look to it. It may not be like, you know, jet black the way Nocturnal is, but Black Pearl does not stain for me, whereas Nocturnal, which I also do like, it stains for me with bath bombs, like even a tiny bit. So, you know, yeah. So, okay, so I'm gonna do my rubbing alcohol in there. But because this is black and it has a tendency to stain, and I know that it has that tendency, I'm just gonna add a drop. Okay, and it'll take a little bit longer for it to dry, but it'll be fine. It won't take too long because like, so these, they're painted, okay? So these I painted like 2 days ago or something. So it kind of depends on your atmosphere and your weather and like how wet it is outside, how much polysorbate 80 you add. Okay, so a little bit does rub off on my finger if I like rub on it, but it's fine. So you know, it does slow it down a little bit, but not like a whole ton, like a metric ton or anything. All right, so for the black, I'm gonna do something simple, and it looks like it might be a little bit too thin, but Victoria says that she loves it when I do things. I know, people are always like, do the thing, and I'm like, oh man, I have so many plans in my head. Okay, so I'm using a like really small little chiseled brush. Those are actually like my favorite brushes, a little chisel brush. And I'm just gonna like paint. I just wanna go around this edge. I'm not even gonna paint like on the inside or anything like that, like the edges. I just wanna paint like around this little design. And it's like maybe a little bit too thin, right? See right there? It's like maybe a little bit too thin. But I'm just gonna go over it real lightly so I don't have to worry about, you know, adding. I don't want to add too much black and have that be the thing that smears. Like if the red smears a little bit, disappointing, but at least it's like all in the same thing. But if the black smears, it's like that's it. That's the end. Everything is done. I'm finished. Okay, I hope that you guys can see. I know I'm being like super selfish and pulling it into my work area, which is like my space, my human space, but like I can't, you know, work otherwise because I'm just a human. I'm sorry. Oh man, my kids, one of them went to school, back to school today, then the other one's going back to school tomorrow. They've been driving me nuts all year. Just kidding. I love them. They're great. Everybody should have at least 2, or, you know, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 fish, 2 reptiles, 2 things that need you. Okay, so see with the Band-Aid, it looks like it's a little bit bruised right there. And then I can go in with my honey blush and I can touch up any of those areas that I kind of jacked up when I was being clumsy and painting the red. Okay, I can touch those up. And then as a finishing touch, I'm gonna take this black, or this brush, I'm just gonna dip it in the black, and then I'm gonna dip it off because I just wanna add like the hint of a shadow. So I'm just gonna go like this. Ooh. Do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna go underneath here. And right there. Ooh, and I'm gonna like hit these little, what are those? Vent holes? What are those? Are they for vents, or is it to vent your wound? What is that? Somebody help me out here. I just realized that those things are there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna spend the rest of the time painting these, and I will go back and add those little details when I'm done. You know, I just wanted to make sure that I hit them in case people were interested in that shadow, which I don't know if you could see in the video. Is it a, did I do the video? Yeah, like I did like a video, but it's not our TikTok. Yeah, I said that. Okay, my bad. So what have you guys been up to all year? Huh? What have you been up to all year? We bought Catan because a few people actually suggested that we buy Catan because we played Monopoly, which is like the most dangerous game. Yes, I read that literature. they were wrong. The most dangerous game is not human hunting, which is creepy. The most dangerous game is playing Monopoly with your family during the holidays. But we did it. We played Monopoly successfully, 0 homicides. But yeah, we were suggested to investigate and invest in Catan, which we have done. We haven't played it yet, but we have it. We've been meaning to play it all year. You're welcome for that. We're gonna keep going. Shan, so she keeps staring at my green thing in the window. This is Coochie Kopi. He is a character from Bob's Burgers. He's Louise's her little friend in Bob's Burgers, and he comes up a few times. So he's from a TV show. He glows in the dark. So if you've never watched Bob's Burgers, it's a great TV show. Doop-a-doo, doop-a-doo. I don't know what else to tell you about it. It's really funny. Basically, I am Linda Belcher. My family has decided that. So they're not wrong. Can confirm that they are not wrong about that. I'm sorry. For the rest of you who don't watch Bob's Burgers, I'm sorry. Go watch it. There's an episode where she doesn't want to throw away the couch because she has like all these memories of the couch and like she's named it and stuff like that. And I was watching it and I was like, that is me though. That is me though. That's me. That's me. I would do that. And then she's got this thing where she like has all the raccoons that live in their alley and she's given them all names and stuff like that. And I have some possums that live in my backyard, and I have developed an entire like thing. They have like a whole life. We have a baby, and his name's Fred, and he lives in my tree. Like we have a whole thing. And then I have little frogs that live outside here. I have a whole world for my little frogs. So yeah, if you want to know more about me, then that's a good place to start. I'm not 100% like her, but I am definitely like super annoying to my kids, and we'll sing, and I'm like, hey y'all, let's do anyway. Okay, I'm done with that. Nectaria says, yay Catan, yay. Oh, okay, this is more suggestions for games. Unstable Unicorns or Raining Unicorn Game. Okay, I'm interested in that. So here's the thing. We have to be, when we choose games, okay, my husband, I love him. He's a great person, but one of the things he's not really like a game person. And so we have to choose games that like we can easily play with 2 to 3 players just in case he doesn't want to join in. But I feel like Catan is a good game for him because it involves like making deals and you know, kind of the whole thing with Monopoly. Like him and my younger son are both like this, where they're like ruthless. So I'm like, okay, that'll work. You guys, that's a good game for y'all. So yeah, I don't know. But Raining Unicorns and Unstable Unicorns, okay, I'll have to check that out. We did get Cards Against Humanity, but we haven't played that yet. Yeah. But we also got a lot of games for like the Switch, which was fun. Because I am really terrible with video games. Like, I'm really terrible with video games. But I also like really don't care. Like, it doesn't like hurt my feelings if I like literally suck at all the games, which I do. I do. Like, so we played Mario Party, and I played Bowser. Because, like, if I could choose a body for myself, it would be Bowser's body. Like, hello. I'm like, you want me to be Princess Peach or Daisy? No. No, that's not what's happening. I want to be the biggest person in the room with, like, spikes on my shell. Hello. If I could choose a body, I'd be Bowser. So, I'm Bowser. And then, so I'm like the biggest one, and then I like also suck. So like all the games, I'm like last place on all the games. It's great. It's great. Love that journey for me. Okay, so we have 2 more, and then I'll go back and I'll show you again the shading thing that I did with the with the Band-Aid. And then I let these dry for, oh, I don't know. It kind of depends. Like I said, it depends on the humidity and stuff. Like if I use straight polysorbate 80, it could take me like a week maybe to have it dry all the way, which like I don't particularly like that, but it's a good option. Like, so I think I talked about this on the one where I painted it like right away, where I was like, you know, it's not like a great option if I need to move it quickly, like I need to package it quickly, but like if I need pictures of it for photography, because you just need to post it online, but it's not going out right away, then using polysorbate 80 might be a great option. With this kind of blend, or where it just has like just literally a drop of polysorbate 80, I'm thinking like maybe 3 to 4 days before I package it. And then if I ever have any kind of streaking, or I start to put them in and there are, you know, the red or whatever is smearing across the bath bomb, I can always take a dry brush and find a good dry brush. Like I could always take a dry brush and kind of sweep it, if it was dry, and kind of sweep off that extra mica that's like kind of hanging around and ruining my entire life with its existence, smearing my bath bombs. Okay, let's do this one, and then I will show you guys one more time what I'm talking about with the shading. I don't know, I really like the way it looked. It was just like that little extra, I don't know, we call it lanyap in the South. It's like that little extra thing, you know, that just gives it that like that last little bit that you need. But because that honey blush is good, but it's just kind of like one note, and I have a light right here, so you're getting a really good shadow on it, but without that shadow, it just doesn't have as much like dimension or depth as I wanted it to have. So I will show you how I added that one last time. And, you know, I'm not messing up on these for some reason. I don't know why, I'm sorry. I haven't messed up on my bath bombs like all year. You're welcome. Usually though, I do mess up on at least one or two, which is fine. Like, it happens. But, so like if I have like a little tiny, you know, you just kind of go in and, but sometimes it's better just to leave it. Like, it's better just, can make it worse. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna take this brush, I dip it in the black, and then I'm like, so basically I'm like dry brushing it. Like I'm trying to create like a dry brushed, actually let's just do this brush. Just trying to create like a dry brushed, because I don't want it to be like a lot of color. I just want to add like making Bob Ross sounds, right? Just add like a little bit of dimensionality to it, so it feels like it's really sitting on that heart. I know it's just like a little tiny touch, but I don't know. It's the little things in life, right? I'm gonna do that underneath right here. Actually, I can add a little bit more. Right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit those little. I see why Bob did that. Bob. He's so smart. Oh my God. Okay, and then if there's like, if I get too much on it, like right there where I feel like I did a little bit too much, I'm just go in and like clean it up. And we have a happy little bath bomb. Oh my God. And now I do that again. Ness says that we name all the bandicoots in the bush. I don't know what a bandicoot is, but I feel like I would love it. Like, I feel like I would love a bandicoot. I don't know what it is. I do know that like a possum here is not the same as a possum in Australia. They're like different somehow, which is like strange and wonderful and mysterious to me, because I don't know what a Australian possum is, but I do know that they're like slightly different. But I have a soft spot in my heart for possums because when I was a kid, we had a possum that would come up through our kitchen, and he would go climb into my mom's garden tub at night, and then she would wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, and then like there's a giant it's a ROUS, right? It's like a giant looking rat that is hanging out in her bathtub, and then he would also come through the cat door and like just chill in the living room. We had 2 cats and like 3 dogs, and he would just chill in the living room with them, and I loved him so much. So possums have like a really special place for me. I love them so much. All right, so you guys, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'm sure I missed a ton of questions and comments as I was going. So drop them down in the comments, and I will answer them as long as I see the question. And then I will make sure that I leave links to where I got the molds, what colors I used, the color study. Whoops, see, that's a little bit dark, my bad. The color study that I used to get this beautiful red. And anything else you might be wondering, like where can you find Bob's Burgers? Hulu. Check your Hulu. Or other places, you know, I'm sure. Yeah. All right, I have one more. Plus the 2 that I didn't finish, but you know, whatever. Who's asking? Who's talking? All right. And yeah. So I hope that you guys have been making lots of stuff all year. Okay. And then I know that I'm just going to keep saying this like literally on repeat. The awesome thing about hearts and stuff like that is that you can use them all year. All year you can use them. People will keep buying them even when it's past Valentine's Day. People will keep buying them. So it's one of the things I love about projects that have hearts or anything like that. That's why I like Valentine's Day as a crafting holiday, because it just carries. People will just keep buying it. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining. I will post the maybe the TikTok video where I show like what it looks like in the water and what the embed looks like in the water. I will post that definitely on our Instagram, so you can check that out, and I'll leave a link for that. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and as always, happy making.